Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
How do I go? Welcome to Season 15, Episode number 3,349. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today it is a random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: the most famous WWE wrestlers of all times. And rock and roll bases. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, some Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack, druggity, drug.
All right, here we go. Kansas teen gets naked and then slathers his body in ranch dressing before crashing his car. Meanwhile, a man with no arms or legs crashes into police after a trip to the bar. Florida woman arrested after telling cops her name is My Butt Just Farted. Man who burned down house trying to kill family of raccoons is now disheartened. And Kraft macaroni and cheese in trouble for noodle picks. Also, Robert Kraft got off. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. As Miles said, cops in Florida, they were trying to arrest a woman for trespassing. Let's face it, trespassing, not the worst crime. But she made it worse by refusing to tell them her name. And even then, that's not the worst thing. But the thing is, the name she gave was, and I quote, My Butt Just Farted. Now, I hope you're sitting down for this. It turns out that My Butt Just Farted is not her real name. But it is funny. And it's funny because farts are funny. Even fake farts are funny. In fact, a 19-year-old woman in New York, she's gone viral on the tickety-tockety because she bought a pair of pants at Zara. Now, Zara, if you don't know, is a clothing store. Anyway, she bought a pair of pants, and she made the horrifying discovery that whenever she bends down, her pants make a fart noise. And I heard this. They don't kind of sound like a fart. They sound precisely like a fart. However, whether you try to convince the cops that your name is My Butt Just Farted or you wear pants that sound like a fart, there is no substitute for the real thing. Over in England, a brawl broke out when a passenger farted in an Uber. Yes, it is true. I believe you can probably piece together the math on that. But these are just some of the stories that we've seen, and they're stories that left us with many, many questions. Questions we would like to ask you in the form of our random question. And this is how it works. You call us, we ask you a question at complete random. And after you answer the question, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be a part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hold the y'all's head, away we go. Welcome to Season 15, Episode number 3,349. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. I know what you're thinking. These guys work really hard. One of these days, you're going to have to take a day off. Actually, that's a lie. I think we've used all our vacation days for the year. It's us from here on out, so sorry. Deal with it. I think we're out of days as far as it goes. Maybe a day off at the Christmas season or maybe Thanksgiving or something.
I get Kwanzaa. I don't know about you fellas.
Yeah, no, I don't get that one.
I tried.
Hey, it worked for me, man. years ago, right? I'm still working part-time, and the federal company holidays come down, whatever. So all these people are getting off for the week of Christmas, and I had to work Christmas Day. Jokingly, now keep in mind, this is CBS Radio back in the day, and they took corporate stuff real serious. So jokingly, I said, well, what about Kwanzaa? And then I realized the look on my boss's face is, oh, no, I'm in a racially charged situation.
And Kwanzaa's a week.
That's my point. So I didn't say anything. I realized, I think he's going to send us up the chain. So sure enough, man, like 45 minutes later, and I'm joking, right? But 45 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, I called CBS Corporate. I'm like, what? He's like, I brought up the Kwanzaa thing. We're giving you the week off. I'm like,
did you take it?
Hell yeah, I took it.
Okay, I was going to say, at that time, you probably needed the money, too. Holiday season.
I got paid for the time off. My coworkers were not pleased. What? It was Kwanzaa, Miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
get out of here.
I swear to God.
Get out of here.
They weren't going to touch this with a 10-foot
I need to find a religion.
Man, you do.
That has a lot of holidays.
I want to be like Rod Carew. I want to be black and Jewish because then...
That would be amazing.
Because that's
Sammy Davis.
Dude, that's like 15 days off.
Yeah, baby.
And corporate will say nothing. Hey, baby, I'm going to go ahead. Take 2 weeks off for the busy time.
Yeah. You would kill it.
Oh.
You would kill it.
So what was it, 15 days, man?
Oh, man, that would be unbelievable.
And no one can say anything about it?
Yeah. What a large and in charge program we have for you today is, yes, we've run out of vacation time. The exciting return of Your Guess is as Good as Mine.
So that we're instantly scheming.
Yeah, exactly. How do we get out of this? Categories today on Your Guess is as Good as Mine. The most famous WWE wrestlers of all time.
Oh, brother.
You know, it's one of those things they went and voted on the internet, and it's objective, obviously.
Well, age has a lot to do with it,
you can say Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback to ever play because he has more Super Bowls than anybody else.
He makes it kind of easy.
Yeah, with the WWE, there were the people who had the belt for longer than others. You could say they beat questionably the greatest wrestler ever, but either way, these are the wrestlers that are the most famous of all time. So not necessarily the fact that they held the belt the longest or anything. These are the fan favorites, either they're heels or not. Or whatever the deal is, these are the ones you love. And then we have an unbelievable category of the top 10 rock bassists of all time. Now, I didn't know this.
I'm in at number 11.
The guy who stands in the corner on the stage, he is in the band. He is the bass player, and believe it or not, there have been some famous ones.
There are some good ones, and there's the shoegazers that are a disgrace to all bass players. Please stop. Stop.
Most of these names you should know. As far as the, Steve, probably there is one bassist on here that you might know. Other than that, nobody's going to get this guy. But apparently he was a very good bassist back in the day. But the list is fair. If you know anything about rock music.
Now, from what you've seen, do you think they are the most popular? Because, look, Nikki Sixx is one of the most popular bass players and might be the worst bass player that ever played rock music.
But as far as a songwriter goes,
he's a fine songwriter. He was fun to watch on stage. He's a very popular person. He was a famous guy. He gave great interviews. He was one of the few interesting people in the band, and he sucked at bass. Right. Sorry.
But I mean, home Sweet Home Fries. I mean, that's his favorite song to sing. I mean, he writes some good stuff.
And he puts Motley croutons on his salad.
Yes, he does. Salad? Yeah. Salad?
Chicken salad.
Oh, chicken salad. I was going to say. So the all-time top 10 rock bass is coming up, and we have the most famous WWE wrestlers of all times on the way with your guess is as good as mine. And in the meantime, it is our random question. 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Oh, hang on. Dude, oh, no.
Did it go away?
No, just give me a sec. We'll fix this. We will fix this. I made the mistake of clicking on the phone and the whole thing shut down. So, it's going to redo this real quick. We'll be right with you. Your call is very important to us.
Oh, there you are.
There we go.
We're back.
Let's start with Josh, because that's the only name that's still on my damn screen. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Josh.
We've been gone for a while. When we come in, everything is a little bit strange.
Josh, you should be there.
Josh should be there.
I'm getting a thumbs up that you're there, but we are not hearing you. This is awesome.
Unbelievable.
I cannot explain.
Is it potted up?
Well, we had...
Hold on.
You got this?
Is this your fault, Mike?
We had some problems.
Oh, it's Josh!
Hey. Yeah.
I knew the board looked a little dark.
We're professionals for a reason there, Josh. Welcome to the show, the random question. Let's go with this one. Josh, what did someone do or say to kill the mood for you?
Oh, man.
Or maybe you did. I know, Miles, you said, I guess you never actually dated this girl, but as I remember, some chick that you liked thought she was cute. She is now expressing to you that she finds you attractive, and she will, sat on your lap outside.
She sat between my legs on a wall.
And you farted.
I farted. Oh. Well, when I went to spread my legs, I farted. That did not go over well, by the way.
And you never, what?
No. I mean, sometimes it's more so.
Was it audio, or was it stink, or was it both? I mean, was it like,
you know what it was?
So she knows?
No, it was kind of like, farting on a church pew. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, this wall had a wood top on it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you can fart on a plane because there's a divider between the seats.
Oh, I know.
But if it was just one bench.
You can't do it, right?
No, because you could feel the vibrato next door. You know what I mean? You could feel the rumble. So this was definitely one that echoed up and down the wall. You know what I mean? It had the full force.
I feel bad for you, but that's funny.
She was hot, too. Of course I messed it up.
So hot you got nervous and farted.
So what did someone do to kill the mood?
Oh, man, I can't really think of anything right now to kill the mood.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there are things, we will fight through a lot of things. Sometimes it is, it sounds bad. I remember just being with the chick, and I remember, her bra pops off, and trust me, I'm raring to go. This is a good thing. And there's this one long, thick, bristly hair sticking out of her areola, okay? I mean, it's like a curb finder, and it was... So I don't want to hover in that area much, but I didn't want to bring it up, and I couldn't stop staring at it. I fought through it. Mm-hmm. We had sex, but we never had sex again. And the only thing I can tell my buddies, there's this weird curb finder coming out of her areola, man, to the point that I don't know if I could get this a second time. Miles, you fought through a chick with a tail?
Kind of. It should have been a tail. I'm not exactly sure it was. There was one time...
Yeah, but honestly, I can't think of anything. That's crazy.
Well, look, you like what you like. If you can fight through it, half the time it's just, even if I watch somebody on a late night show that I used to think was hot, and then they start answering questions.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just kills it for me. It's not that I don't physically find them attractive. Yeah. It's just that damn well, it doesn't matter. One way or another.
Who was the...
Actually, Kim Kardashian was on, I don't know, Fallon a long time ago or whatever. And I never really thought too much about Kim Kardashian. But by the time the interview was over, I was like, you know what? She is not the worst of these people. You know
she's
what I mean? As far as
the worst.
The
but she's exactly what you expect. You don't go in with high hopes that Kim Kardashian was going to do anything to wow you, because she's smarter than I thought she was, but that doesn't mean anything. That's like saying your fart didn't smell as bad as I thought it would. She's still very dumb to me.
Sure.
Just not as dumb. Well, Ted, you brought up Miley Cyrus
today in the office. And that's what I'm saying.
Her talking voice, everything. She can sing. She's good looking. She's actually pretty funny when she does stuff. But Ted was like, man, just listening to the talking voice.
She can have a...
Ted!
She can have a...
You know how to have sex. No one like you.
It's not even that.
Climb back. She sounds like, who's that guy from back in the day?
Let's say you stay a week with her, right?
Who's it?
It's Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, she sounds like Jimmy Durante.
But Ted, you're one of the sexiest men
I've ever seen in your life.
The heights of pleasure.
Please climb back in the sack and do me in that way that only you can do.
Even if she invited you to her house in Malibu for a week, be like, let's go to the beach, Ted. You'd be like, right at the beginning, like, oh, it used to sound fun, but now it doesn't.
I'd still fight through.
Yeah, no, but would you ask her just talk less? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to talk dirty to you?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Have you guys ever said anything maybe that you shouldn't have in the bedroom?
I don't think so, because to me, I'm married now, so that's different. But when you're fighting for it, like in your 20s, like to me, be very cognizant to only say the right thing, right? Because these things happen sparingly. So the best bet was say nothing at all.
Right. Or like you're in the middle of it and someone goes, oh, man, I really got to poop. And then they're gone for like 10, 15 minutes.
We all know what's going on there.
Yeah, no, it's just bad.
Yeah, but how many times have you held it in? Like, there's a moment where you're like, oh, my God, I have to fart. Yeah. But the problem with that is not that you can't hold a fart. The problem is that the muscles that you use to have sex also are the muscles you use to hide the fart. So it's amazing how you'll kind of switch up your rhythm. Because I understand, if I fart in the middle of this, it is over.
Ooh, my buddy. Oh, man. Okay, so he dated this. he was very much into this girl for a while.
Okay.
She was. I understood why he was into her. He finally sealed the deal. The next day, she's still there, like, kind of getting her stuff together, maybe in the bathroom. I can't remember. I'm like, and he's like, yeah. And I go to give him a high five, and he just gives me the no head shake, and I'm like, what's going on, man? And
he wouldn't give you a high five.
He's like, and Chad's from Southern West Virginia, and he goes, hey, man, she's just got a real stinky belly button. It stinks.
Her belly
button reeks. I was like, how do you know that sort of? He's like, oh, man, that's where it's from. I can smell it. And I said, well,
how did he pinpoint that?
Because he was
in the general area.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Like there's half a sweater stuck in there.
See, I can understand that.
Did you lose a sock in the dryer because it's not in the dryer?
Because you can fight through maybe the stink of other things because predictably these areas do not always smell.
Women have smelly belly buttons?
Well, she does.
Right. I mean, like, I know guys have guts.
I mean, someone chimed in here and says, my wife and I are going at it. I put too much pressure on her stomach. She farted hard. It vibrated my satchel. We had to stop because we were laughing.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, if both parties are like...
As long as you're both laughing.
I've definitely stopped, too, because of a dog staring at me.
Oh, because it was staring.
Yeah. Like, I just kind of caught his eyes. And I was like, hang on. I got to get him the hell out of the room.
What was the dog's name?
This is a different one.
Oh, okay. Was he looking at you like happy, or was he looking at you like...
No, he looked like I was like committing an atrocity. Like it's his household and his mom.
The reason we asked, what did someone do or say to kill the mood? They say these are some of the worst things that you can say to someone in the bedroom.
Okay, I bet you said all of them.
No. Calling someone by the wrong name in the bedroom.
Well, sure.
Especially in the bed. That's why everyone just needs to be baby.
Right. The next thing that'll really kill the mood and is a bad thing. Have you been tested?
You mean someone says that?
Yeah, well, during the act. I think you need to have that conversation. The problem is...
I've had the conversation before, but not like in the middle. Hey, by the way, side note, have you been tested? Because I haven't. I'm positive.
You can't say that at dinner, because then they'll say something like, I never even thought of having sex with you. I thought we were just friends out on a date.
Yeah, but now that I've brought it up, you're thinking of having sex with me. Yeah. So have you been tested?
By the way, I have herpes, and you...
I've been tested, but the results aren't good.
I mean, that's always the thing about bringing a condom on a first or second date.
Yeah, you're rolling the dice.
You don't want to look too forward, but also you might need it.
You want to look prepared. The Boy Scouts never say, don't look like you're thinking of things. They say, be prepared.
Oh,
you don't put it on the dinner table while you're eating. It's that if you get to that point, you reach through the wallet, the pocket, wherever you got it.
Look, if you're married and you have a prescription to Viagra, okay? Mm-hmm. My money says that the amount of times, like, okay.
You need a script for that.
It's Valentine's Day, all right? Maybe you know you're going to go on a date or whatever, and you want to have sex for longer, and you got Viagra, right? You take that, the moment you take that Viagra, it's going to be like, I don't feel so well. I have a headache.
You're going to have a car accident.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to need the Viagra, is what I'm saying.
If you don't pop the Viagra,
then you're going to need 10 of them.
She's going to be so horny, right. Like, oh, God.
If you bring the condom, then there's no way. If you don't bring the condom, it's like, let's go to 7-Eleven now.
But that's why I've done that once. Man, and it's... I was younger, so it felt weird. Now, I'd be like, hell yeah. But I ran into 7-Eleven, and they sold the 3-packs. So, in other words, we know this is for tonight kind of thing. And there's a bunch of people in there. Mm-hmm. I bought the 3-pack, and it's just the fact that the cashier is like, oh, somebody's going to have a good night. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, thanks for bringing it up.
Another one of the worst things you can say to someone in the bedroom is, I've had better.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that undermines their security or
Ladies,
sense of self.
I know you have. You don't have to remind me.
I know.
It's like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't say I'm going to be. This is about me. I'm happy to be. It's like going to the batting cage. I'm never going to play in the major leagues, but it's fun to swing.
But the thing is, like, there's 32 teams in the NFL. One is good enough to be called the Super Bowl champion.
I'm the Jets.
So if you've been with 20 teams, you know what I mean? Chances are you've played against a Super Bowl champion.
Okay, but
all the other teams, maybe not so much.
But let's put it in perspective, all right? Someone says, I've had better. I'm 51. I'd expect you to say that. Now, you're with someone who's been with one other person. I've had better. Well, now it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You suck. They didn't.
And
the other guy wasn't even that good. He's just better than you.
Well, yes, you are.
I didn't even enjoy sex
You're
with
more
him.
attractive,
Yeah.
the whole thing. And the one thing that really ticks people off is, do you mind brushing your teeth? That one is, that's another one.
You know what? No, I don't.
Oh, I don't care about
I mean, like, if that's all you're asking me, like, hey, man, I feel you. Someone else, as far as what has ruined that moment, says, we had to stop because one of our dogs jumped up and started licking my butt. I had been there. My dog plowed his nose directly between my butt cheeks. I had no idea what was coming, man. You just feel this cold, wet nose. And, I mean, it ended everything. And I was so mad at this dog, and I couldn't understand why.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of the room! The tail between his legs. Like, you just ruined my goddamn. Someone else says, my wife, she had me call her by her ex-girlfriend's name while in bed. Needless to say, mood totally gone.
Why? You mean...
Wait a minute, say that again?
My ex-wife had me call her by my ex-girlfriend's name while in bed. So in other words, his ex wanted him to call her by the name of a chick he'd been with.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's weird.
Okay.
That's why you should only call the other person like, dude.
All right, dude.
Hey, dude, roll over.
My man.
Dude, you want me to,
Just call everyone my man. Yeah, my man. Oh, baby, you good, my man.
What's up, sex queen?
You know what? You're doing a hell of a job down there, my guy.
Dude, my man.
My man, my man.
My man.
Just
My
go,
man.
go Denzel on her.
Fist pump. Fist pumps.
Oh, my man. Nobody does it like you.
More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Last random question about killing the mood. Our old Mike Hawk had a nosebleed all over some young man. What happened there?
Did you drip onto someone?
Yes, I did. I got a little aggressive, let's just say, and next thing I knew, I looked up and there was a driplet down there, and I went, "What the hell is that about?" And then I felt it coming down my face.
Why did you say anything?
Did you headbutt something, or do you just, when you get excited?
What kind of sex do you have that you get a nosebleed?
I think I just went a little too hot, and so I headbutted.
Oh. Yeah, I know you said you got too excited and you got a nosebleed. I'm like, that doesn't seem like
I said I got too aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Wow. That's, I've never had that problem.
No, me either. I just lay there.
Well, it was, pregame.
I mean, I've sweat on some people, but never bled on them. Hello, Dwayne. Welcome to the men's room.
Root beer and the wife.
Hola. Dwayne, welcome to the program. And the random question.
You sound a lot more excited about the root beer.
Yeah. Let's see here, Dwayne. Let's go with this one. What would you say is the most teenage thing that you did as a teenager?
Everyone snuck out, went to the park, kissed a girl, if that's your sort of thing. a classic like that.
Okay, so nothing too crazy. You were a good kid?
Pretty good kid. I guess that's the most teenage thing. That's the most, common thing, I guess,
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
Police officer, hung out with cops' kids, things like that.
Put it this way, if you put a chemical burn in the shape of a penis on a high school lawn, that's a teenage
You egg someone's house, toilet papered their home, mailbox, baseball, if that was your thing?
Check the block, yep.
Okay. Maybe you blow up mailboxes. There's all kinds of fun things.
And maybe you don't, Miles.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't blow mailboxes, too.
Oh, man. That one was amazing. That was classic stuff there. This guy is such a douchebag.
Can I do a quick PSA?
What's that?
When you call in for Big Dummy, nothing's at stake. Don't pass.
That's good. Don't pass. That's a good
what that is a strong. There's
Yeah.
nothing to pass on. Nothing bad will happen.
There was this guy in our neighborhood, man, and he just hated kids. He hated kids.
Because they do things like blow mailboxes?
He just had, for whatever reason.
Where did this guy
I can't believe he hated kids.
He was just not a nice guy. He wasn't a nice guy to anybody, but he especially hated the kids in the neighborhood. So
you were closer to him.
We would blow up his mailbox, all right? Which,
the guy that hated kids and also you blew, I'm just saying, there might be a connection, but I don't know.
So he put in a steel post and all that stuff. Well, he put his mailbox on there. I mean, the steel post stayed, but we just kept blowing the mailbox up. It was fine. So at this one point, he's got a guy out there, and this guy has like granite style rocks, and he's building this box, and in this box, like this pillar, right, is going to be the slot where the mailbox goes.
All right.
All right. So we went to work. Man.
This is now a challenge for you.
This is a challenge. We blew that thing into pieces. I mean, into gravel-sized pieces. It was spectacular. All we heard was the noise because I put about a 4-foot wick on that thing so we could get long and far away from there. But yeah, man, it was rubble the next day. We were all like, yes, because it was just the challenge.
And that guy hated kids.
He hated kids. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it.
Never got his mail.
We never blew one up, but we got tired of using baseball bats.
Yeah, sure.
So then we just started getting in 2-point stances and knocking them over.
Oh, you just run and take them down.
Right. But I always remember this one house, I get in a nice stance, and I mean, that mailbox popped off cleanly. And I looked up in the bay window. It's just a small child screaming.
Oh, no.
He was so scared.
Oh, no. Maybe this is why you're not good around kids.
Sorry, little fella.
Yeah, my bad. Reason we ask, what is the most teenage thing you did as a teenager? We go to Topeka, Kansas. The Shawnee County Sheriff's Office responded to a disturbance call about 3:30 a.m. at a gas station in Topeka. When deputies got there, they found a naked 17-year-old man who was under the influence of some substance. Teenager had covered himself in ranch dressing, damaged property inside the business, and then ran outside naked and drove off. He didn't make it far. He crashed into a nearby pillar. Deputies took him into custody at a local hospital where he was later released to his parents, who I'm sure were very proud. No injuries were reported. So naked, covered in ranch dressing at a gas station is no way to go through life, Sonic.
Random.
That just adds that one little extra touch.
You think it was like a whole bottle?
I'm guessing it was the whole thing. But you wouldn't put a few dabs. If you're going to go, you're already naked, right? Once I feel like you get naked, whatever you're going to put on, slather up, bro.
If I'm naked in a convenience store and I'm going to put some ranch on my body, I'm putting a lot of ranch on my body.
Yeah.
Hello, Craig. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Craig, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, since we're talking about being a kid, being a teenager, what would you say is the food, not that you hated it, but you really didn't like it one way or another, but you like now as an adult? The thing that, when you're a kid.
There's a few things, and actually being a world traveler helped a lot. My parents took me overseas to Europe, and I hated tomatoes and onions and that kind of stuff. And then I tried Greek salad, and I was like, oh my god, these things are so good.
It's the feta.
I hated
Don't be fooled.
mustard, and I hated pickles. I had a girlfriend that got me into pickle chips, and then salt and vinegar chips, and then pickles.
So the pickled chips were your road to actually being able to eat things that are pickled?
Yeah, because I remember I had a friend who had Lay's salt and vinegar chips, and I was like, what is this? And I tried it. I was like, oh, God, why would you ever, and now I love those things, like the kettle chips, the salt and vinegar.
I had some today, in fact, with my Subway soda.
Those,
I think the number one for me, as far as is coffee.
Sure.
It was kind of not banned from kids being able to drink it, but it was not encouraged.
Well, the difference is when we were growing up, like my kids now, it's not that they drink coffee, but they're Starbucks. So their association with coffee is that coffee's not bad.
Sugar,
they just
sugar,
prefer
sugar,
other
right.
things. When we're growing up, man, your parents had Folgers. It began and ended there.
Did you see where Folgers is making a huge resurgence?
I did not know this.
Yes, because...
I thought tequila was gross, too, because I tried, Jose Cuervo that my parents kept in the closet.
That's fair.
And I was like, God, that's disgusting. And then I had, Patron or something, and I was like, oh, my God, I love tequila.
There's such a difference. Trust me, I went through the same thing, especially tequila, beer, coffee, cigarettes, you name it. Those are all the bad things, right? Where just, I can't believe anyone does this, because that's what kids say, because they're not cynical yet. Then you get bitter and old, and all these things are awesome. But for me, it was like onions and garlic and all that pungent stuff. But one of the truths about getting older is that, when you're born, unfortunately, your taste buds, they're sensitive and they taste everything. Mm-hmm. And then the older you get, it's like getting a callus on your fingers. You don't taste things as strong. So you can handle stuff like onions and garlic, where I'll still try to get my kids to eat
the same
things.
thing with hot peppers, I thought pepperoncinis were so
Okay,
spicy.
let me ask you a question.
And I made myself get used to them, the ones they give you in the pizza box.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
That's how most of us got used to
I'm the
it.
manager. I'm the manager at the Subway restaurant you walk into, okay? You order a Philly cheesesteak. Now, there are only two breads available. There's a cheesy bread and there's a wheat bread. What bread do you pick?
A cheesy.
Of course you take the cheesy bread. How about turning around that woman today in line and went, what the hell's wrong with you, woman?
Oh, I know.
She put cheesesteak on wheat bread.
I want to beat her ass.
Ireland said that the Subway cannot call their bread bread.
No, or their food, it can't call it food. They can't call anything on it food.
Right. The whole thing was they said the bread doesn't meet their qualifications for bread based on the amount of sugar. And I said, well, that's fair. And then when you continue to read the statement, the Irish Supreme Court also ruled that Subway's bread is not considered food. Not even just bread, but not even food.
Well, they used to put the stuff that's in yoga mats in their bread.
But what is the stuff in yoga mats? Because in other words, I might eat a yoga mat.
There's just some common ingredient between the yoga mat.
It's like wood pulp or something like that. Same thing they put in the Kraft.
Man, I was going to say, we've been eating wood pulp and that crap forever. It's in your fridge right now.
Reason we asked, what do you hate as a kid as far as food? But now, a survey of 2,000 Americans found the 10 most common foods kids hate but adults like.
All right.
Vegetables do dominate the list, but keep in mind, whole wheat bread was on the list.
Okay, as a kid, it's not that
from a peripheral standpoint, it's just you would rather have white bread as a kid.
Rather have white bread. It's not that I hated it, but my parents would only buy wheat bread, and I swore to myself, and I have stayed true to this, which is actually a sad statement. I'm not buying wheat bread ever again, and I have not. I just got sick of it as a kid, and I go to my buddies' houses, eat a peanut butter and jelly there, and to me, it was enormously better than my crap on wheat bread.
Cottage cheese on the list. Any type of chicken, by the way, that wasn't a chicken nugget. Do you guys know people who won't eat chicken with bones in it?
I do.
That's a weird one.
I do, but
bone chicken is much more flavorful and better if you cook it right.
Generally speaking, yeah. But
some people have a hard time tearing meat off a bone. It's not my fault.
No. Dude, but part of it, the kids got spoiled with chicken nuggets. When I was growing up, we did not have chicken nuggets. If you ate chicken, you either got a chicken breast or it was on the bone. So a chicken nugget, by the time it was introduced to the masses, seemed like a convenience to me. But my kids, my son can fight through her. My daughter, she has zero interest in eating chicken on the bone. In fact, you have to explain, hey, this is precisely the same thing as that other thing you eat. But you can't do it.
Fish. As far as being a kid. Fish sticks are one thing. All right. Kids don't mind fish sticks. It's not their favorite thing.
They'd rather have chicken nuggets.
Chicken tenders or whatever. But I don't remember ever being a kid and going, man, I've got to have that snapper or the flounder or whatever. You know what I mean?
I have a buddy, his kid eats, but since his kid was small, that was the only option. There wasn't a lot of meat around.
Okay.
So the kid likes fish.
Greek yogurt is on the list. Eggs, avocados, fish, green beans, spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Asparagus was the number one thing that people hated as a kid, but like now. I'd say Brussels sprouts in the world of vegetables.
But Brussels sprouts also have come really far along.
They have, but they're no different. Somehow they've had a resurgence, but the Brussels sprouts that are here now, they taste like they did 40 years ago, right?
I guess the preparation. You've heard me say this, but in my family, you had them at holidays, and they were steamed, and then you put them in vinegar.
Or if you had cauliflower or broccoli, it was steamed and then covered in cheese.
Yeah, I'm done with cauliflower.
Why? What happened?
I mean, why'd
you have a cauliflower
so
buffalo bite? Do you wrong?
Like it owes you money.
What about a cauliflower buffalo bite? Or cauliflower pizza crust, or one of those.
And I don't mind the cauliflower. I'm just saying, if I'm going to eat that or broccoli, I'm taking broccoli every day of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
I would pick cauliflower only because it has less taste than I hate them both passionately, but cauliflower has less taste. So
you can make you can sneak cauliflower into your mashed potatoes and no one will know you're eating different.
I've had them before. They're delicious.
Yes, you do know. It doesn't necessarily taste bad, but you know. People get it in their head that you can't tell. What is it, like Burger King, the Impossible Whopper? There's nothing wrong with the Impossible Whopper. In fact, it tastes fine. The problem is they keep saying, you can't even tell the difference. The F I can't. And in a heartbeat, you know the difference. In fact, Castle's wife, right, she eats extraordinarily healthy. So her and I have a problem with each other when it comes to this. But I remember she made some kind of pasta dish, and the pasta dish was fine. And she let me finish the whole plate, and I could see her face the entire time I'm eating.
He doesn't know that that's a really weird zoodle.
I knew. So at the end, she's like, you just ate a cauliflower noodle or something. I was like, I know I did.
What do you want me to say, something in the middle of dinner?
It wasn't bad, but I know goddamn well this is not a normal noodle. Hello, Josh. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there.
Hola.
Josh, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, let's go with this one, man. How many, since your car is dinging, how many car accidents have you been in your lifetime, whether they were your fault, if you were in someone else's car? How many times have you been involved in a fender bender?
Two.
Two or three? Two major ones, or like somebody's hurt?
Two that other people hit me. One, I was just backing into a parking spot in the parking lot, and someone was impatient, just kind of like went right behind me, and so I was backing in to the parking spot.
What's the protocol on backing into someone as compared to rear-ending a car? You know what I'm saying? Because when you rear-end someone, the person who hits from behind is always
pulling into a parking space, so I was backing into the parking spot, and I kind of like had to go weave to go up through over a speed bump and back in, and the person was saying I don't know what, when we got out, I was like what the heck are you doing? Kind of that exchange back and forth, and they're like, you're weaving. Yeah, I weaved over the speed bump to back into the parking spot.
Did you have your signal on?
Impatient. And
did you have your signal on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess you weren't cited then for being at fault in that accident, right?
Cosmetic. But I had a full turn lane. I went and used the turn lane and everything, and she was at a complete stop in the straight lane, and she just decided last second, because there was construction up ahead, to take that right-hand turn, and I got sideswiped. That was pretty big, and we exchanged information.
Okay, all right. How old are you?
24.
All right.
So.
I think you've got a number of car accidents left. It just seems like you get into a few.
Bright.
Yeah, you get into a few when you're younger. Then they get farther between. It seems like,
but it's inevitable.
Older. But it's always.
I do drive for a living, so.
Okay.
Good driver.
Okay.
I would hope so. I hope you're a good driver if, in fact, you drive for a living. Those two things, they should definitely go hand in hand.
And you're not even you don't care about yourself. You jump out of the car, you're like, my car!
That's always the first thing.
I'll pay $2,000 for that.
That's always the thing. If you wreck your parents' car, the first thing they're going to say to you is, are you okay? Even if you are, say you're not. Because once you say you're okay, then they want to assess the damage to their vehicle, and then it goes downhill. All sympathy dries up. So, at least say, I think I'll be all right, Dad, but my neck hurts a little bit. That way, no matter how bad the damage is to the car, that little bit of sympathy prevents you from getting into too much trouble.
Yeah, and every time, even if you just rear-end somebody, you're just I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Reason we asked how many car accidents have you been in, you know where Mechanicsville, Maryland is, Ted?
Mechanicsville?
I know the name, but I don't know.
It sounds yeah.
It is about 40 miles south of D.C. So if you're on your way, maybe you're down 301,
Charles County,
go to, maybe Richmond or someplace back in there. It's basically an old highway like Aurora.
Yeah.
That's typically the road, right? So a guy named Dayton Weber, he's 22 years old, and he's from Mechanicsville. He crashed his truck around 2 a.m. He plowed into a cop car, however. Then he hit a building. Luckily, no one was hurt. And the fact that he'd been drinking obviously had played a big role in his crash. But it didn't help either that he happens to have no arms or no legs, does Dayton Weber. They assume the truck must have some sort of device that helps him drive, like a pedal,
or it doesn't,
or a brake. But he's not going to be driving anytime soon. He's facing charges for drunk driving, negligent driving, reckless driving, and fleeing the scene of an accident. Not on foot, but in his vehicle.
What, you just roll away?
Yeah, so what does he do?
Roll down a hill.
Like, man, don't make me come and get you.
I'm gone.
Do not do this.
He tucks. No, he doesn't, does he? Because he doesn't have any legs.
How
do you know? How do you get going? How do you start? You know, the roll.
I mean,
if you have no arms and no legs.
If I'm the judge and I'm presiding over this, like, look, man, you got drunk, you know, and I'm sure your vehicle has the things that you need to drive, but I'm going to drop the charge of fleeing the scene. Just
okay.
I'm going to make an assumption.
I'm assuming when you drink, and I don't know, you just put you know those birds that keep dipping down to drink the drink. You know what I mean? And they go back up because you can't use your arms.
Oh, right.
We saw a guy drink at the bar with his feet,
but he had feet
with chopsticks, but. You can't.
He cut his steak with his feet.
You have to just swing it. What's your preferred? Is it a bottle? Is it a can?
Bottle.
Is it in a bowl?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you? No, but how do you drink?
It's called a straw, guys.
Oh yeah. Great idea.
Well, who's setting it up for?
Problem solved. Yeah, who puts that straw in there?
He's just drinking out of a bowl. You think it's a crazy straw?
You have to know you're over-serving that guy, right? Right, I'm just saying the bartender in this case.
Based on your body percentage size.
No, look, I might be able to fake it if I know enough just to keep my hands a little steady. You know, your eyes are probably glassy. Bartenders see this all the time, but they keep an eye on you. And if I don't fall out of my bar store, if I can just keep my hands steady. But this guy, I'm just thinking, when you have no arms, no legs, and his legal limit was like 4 times.
Well,
over
you
the
can't
legal
do a
limit
field. First of all, you can't do a field sobriety test.
Yeah, how do you? I'm not doing the blow.
You can do the eyes back and forth.
I'm not blowing into that. What are you
follow
gonna do now?
the flashlight. You know what I'm saying? But after that, what else could you do?
No, I can't walk in a straight line.
No.
I don't have legs,
I
officer.
can roll
What else
down
you
that.
got?
I can roll down that hill.
It sounds mean, but
go down and pick me up.
I mean, there's just so many questions in this story.
Yeah, some of those points straws exist, guys. Look, we overlook.
What if he moved out here to the West Coast and they don't have straws?
Yeah.
Now what's Dayton Weber going to do? Whatever the hell's that.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't feel safe with him behind the wheel anyhow.
No.
But now he's been drinking.
How does he steer the car?
I don't know.
It's a truck.
I mean, it's got to be
with a straw.
Well, kind of. Right? That's the only way he can be doing it. It's not like he puts his mouth on the steering wheel.
No,
it's got to be some kind of breath thing that he's blowing on inside his mouth.
And the other charge I would drop, look, you're going to get him with the DUI. Clearly, you were inebriated. I know that. But I would also drop the reckless driving, only because as a lawyer, I would argue, hey, reckless, the implication is you can do better and you chose not to. Your Honor, he has no arms and no legs. We just call this driving.
And he's got a truck.
You gave him a license.
How does he get into the truck? A truck has floorboards for just regular people to get into. You know what I mean?
You got an answer for that, straw people?
Yeah, right. How's he getting in the truck?
You're killing us with the straws we get.
What do you say? Do you say brake? Do you say turn left? Is it like a Tesla driving truck? That's what I'm saying. You can't signal. You can't turn on your windshield wipers. You can't change the channel.
How does he even have a license?
Again, the bartender had to know they're over-serving. The DMV had to know that. Rolling the dice on this one. Well, why do you say that? He has no arms or legs. Huh. But here's your license.
Get him a license.
It doesn't even make sense.
This guy?
Yeah, I got to know how he does this. I mean, all those things are very important aspects of driving.
And now, look, someone said, you guys are going to hell. Followed by...
No, we're not.
No, someone else says, we're all going to hell because I'm laughing.
Well, he just shouldn't be driving, obviously.
We're not trying to be mean, but if someone said, hey, you are the Department of Licensing. This man has no arms, no legs. Okay. And he drives a truck.
How do you open the beer? You're at home.
I don't know how he leaves the home.
That's what I'm saying. How do you... Just there's so many questions. More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.